Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Seneca County Commissioner meeting. Today's June 30th, 2022, and we'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Shell.
Please, dear Lord, please help guide us, bless us as we go to discuss county business, property, personnel, finances here that benefit and help our residents, citizens, taxpayers. Please help to give us your guidance and do your will. With everything going on in the world, please help us to see the good in each other and to work together for the betterment of everyone. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Schuff,
Here.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Here. So I will accept the motion to approve the digital audio recording of our previous board session from Thursday, June 23rd, 2022 for our regular session and our EMS meeting that evening.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone. We'll start with, we have a guest here, Zayden Fry, and a proclamation that we'd like to read. So we'll start with the proclamation, and then we'll have you come up and address the community. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Chef.
So I have a proclamation here for Zayden Fry, repeat pole vault state champion. Whereas Mohawk High School's Zayden Fry won his second consecutive state championship at the Division III Boys State Meet on June 3rd, 2022, and whereas Fry's work ethic, dedication, and talent were apparent given his achievement of winning his second state championship in the pole vault event in Division III. And whereas Fry has had an extremely successful athletic career, and his efforts and accomplishments are well respected and will be remembered. And whereas the Seneca County Board of Commissioners had great admiration for Fry and wishes to congratulate him on this day to remember in the 2022 state track meet. Whereas Fry's accomplishments and winning not one, but 2 state championships should be appreciated by all in the community, as he symbolizes a bright future for many of the talented young people in Seneca County. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the Seneca County Commissioners hereby officially recognize and congratulate Zayden Fry for winning his second state championship in the pole vault competition at the state meet, in witness whereof we, the Seneca County County Commissioners, have hereunto set our hand to this proclamation this 30th day of June in the year of our Lord 2022. Commissioners Mike Kirschner, Tony Paradiso, and Tyler Schuff. Congratulations.
Wow, welcome.
Thank you.
Can we get a picture with you?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Want to do that now, Jimmy?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
You guys want to go
Bring
back there?
Family up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on up, everybody, all the Mohawks.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Come on up.
You guys are really getting good at this. You know, move the chairs out of the way and everything. What's up, dog?
We have it down to us.
Me too.
Just as
Let's
nervous
do,
as
we'll do one with just Aiden and then maybe bring in everybody else too.
let's just do one.
Yeah, we'll do, there we go.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay, cool. All right, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. All right, 3, 2, 1. Gonna take one more. 3, 2, 1. Good deal. And then family coaches, AD, get in here. Let's get everybody up there.
He still has one left inning, too.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Come on up.
Free keep.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yep.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi, Ashley.
Okay, so how do you want? You got
That's
wide
good.
enough?
Yep. Nope. That's perfect. You are good. All right. 3, 2, 1. Gonna take one more. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Cool. All right. Now you get to talk to us. So.
That's yours, obviously.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming and
Thank you.
looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
mistaken?
Please.
Yeah.
Speech.
This is the fun part.
Say a
Speech.
few words. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know where to stand. Where do I stand?
need it.
Right there. Right there.
You're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just say
Okay.
thanks, happy to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having me. It means a lot. When my parents told me the news, I was like, I was nervous. I was super nervous, but I'm really appreciative of you guys, and thank you guys for all being supportive and acknowledging me, and thank you all for being here. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
And you're a junior?
Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am-
We want to see you back 1 year from now.
That's
again,
it.
so.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll try.
Athletic director, any comments from you?
I'm just really proud of the staff, his parents, Zayden. They really, really work hard. And,
Obviously.
yeah, and for it to come down to, like Aaron would attest, Zayden's final jump, on his final attempt, he broke the school record, got his personal best, and won the state championship all in one jump. So,
Wow.
Yep. We just want to use the word three-peat.
All right.
Keep going, also, you train all the time?
Yeah.
You go to camps or colleges or?
Yeah, I go. It's called Beamer, or it's called Altitude Headquarters, and
Wow.
it's every Sunday I go. So I pole vault there, and it's like a big practice, like 2.5 hours every Sunday. So since I've been in beginning of 8th grade, before 7th grade, or like end of 7th grade. So
That's awesome.
I've been sticking to it a while. But yeah, it's a really technical sport, and it's hard. But once you get it, you just keep seeing progress, and it motivates you to keep trying to be a better version of yourself. So
Yeah, it's just so
What
proud
won
of
the
you.
Well
school
said.
record?
Good
What was the
job,
school,
Zayden.
what won the school record and?
Yeah.
it was my previous one. I had a previous school record of what 15.
15-8,
Fi-
maybe?
15-6.
54.
15. I don't remember. It was 13-6, and then I got 14, and I got like 14-2, and then I got 14-6, and I got 15, and then I got 15-2, and then I got 15-4, and I got 15-7, and then I got 16. So,
No, Zayden, Mr. Newman runs the airport, so we have to watch flying.
right?
No pole vaulting out by the. A few more feet, we're gonna have to call traffic control on.
A lot of bending the pole. I know.
You make the community proud.
But thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome to
Thank you,
stay,
guys.
or you can go, it's up to you. Stay, leave when you want, okay? You guys good?
Thank you. Thank you guys again.
I love your shirt too.
Oh, this was a last minute thing. And,
right.
me and one of the teachers customized it.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
And then people went around and bought them.
Wow.
We like
But did you show them the quote on the back? I
No,
found it.
no,
There's
I
a
didn't see
quote.
the back,
I
okay.
found that quote and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Once you have tasted quiet, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward.
Brad, did you,
For there you have.
you have to see the
for there
back.
you shall return.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Isn't that a cool quote?
Yes.
I like that.
It was
That
cool.
was neat.
Well, thank you guys again.
thank you.
Yeah,
It means a
thank
lot.
you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's pretty exciting. And Jimmy, we have several more coming in. So Mr. Shuff's idea was to feature the county. We have quite a few state champions throughout the county, and to bring them in and recognize them. So it's a great idea. Jimmy's been setting these up, so there'll be more to come. So thank you.
A lot of talented youth in this area.
Yeah, that was a great idea, by the way. Thanks. So we now have a report from the Board of Elections. Lori and Jim, please.
Yeah.
Did you draw straws? Lori, Lucy?
We
Yeah.
figure there's probably enough questions for both of us, so.
Okay, good.
I think as you guys have probably read that 2017, we went to the electronic poll books, the poll pads, as opposed to the paper books. We have a board member that believes that paper's still the best way, but unfortunately in today's society, this is the way to go. It's really a time saver. It's very accurate. The biggest time saver is in using the electronic poll pads versus the paper books. When those come back after the election, the clerks literally spent 7 to 10 days doing nothing but scanning and scanning, and then having to edit and make sure that the signatures fit in the boxes in our voter registration system. And it was a long, tedious process. The staff likes the electronic poll books, the voters like the electronic poll books, the poll workers like them. It saves a lot of time at the polling locations for efficiency, instead of having to continually look through a book and what was the last name and trying to find. So they are very efficient and very, very well received. As you guys also know, the Secretary of State's office has a lot of security requirements for us ever since 2020. We spent a lot of time doing a lot of cybersecurity issues. We've got a new directive the other day regarding more physical and cybersecurity. So with that, our current poll pads that we have do not meet the security requirements for the Secretary of State's office. And that's statewide, not just Seneca County. There's no way to update them, there's no way to make them meet the requirements, so we are looking to replace them with the 2.0 version that No Ink has developed. Our board did approve to go with the leasing program. I think Stacy
We have
David sent an
copies.
email. He was concerned that the House bill didn't include leasing, but when I reached out to the director of the OAEO, he said that the language was designed to include leases. So I think probably one of the biggest questions is what do we do with the 55 old ones? There is a third-party vendor that will buy them back, but they're only going to buy them back at like $35 a piece. So, I don't know what avenues you guys have to sell used equipment. I know Chairman Frew suggested maybe we could donate them to the schools. I don't know what the solution there is in terms of rotating those old ones out. I'm sure we can work on something. But our poll pads are not good for the November election. So we really need to be able to move forward and get financing and make a decision so we can get our stuff ordered and get it ready and prepped for November.
Should they be turned back to like a regular iPad type thing for?
Yeah, we can factory reset them.
Maybe some of the county libraries, some of the smaller libraries could use them or something, help kids read.
As commissioners, you guys want to try to sell them off?
Space is working on it.
Try to sell them off if
Could you put them
wanna
on
donate
Gov
them.
deals? See, because you probably get more than that on Gov deals.
$35 a piece.
They're lightly used.
The only thing about that is they're gonna come get them and take them away. But like I said, if you guys have a plan of what works best, whether donating or selling them, we don't care.
You've got documentation that shows that the offer was $35 a piece or whatever it was.
From the third party, yes.
$25,000 is where we would have to actually go through the process of people bidding for them. So if we can't give them to the schools or give them to someone like that, I think that's where we would lean. They are adaptable to being able to be used on the internet.
They're just an iPad.
Yeah, it's just an iPad. So
It is.
somebody would have to probably then, once we factory reset them, put whatever on it that they need.
Truly is an iPad. I think one of the ideas that we might have off the top is offer it to county employees at $50 a piece maybe, or some number. I'm not saying that's the end number, but that's what they offered. So
But if we do
anybody
that,
might
can we
want-
give them the whole case, the whole kit and caboodle, take the printer, take the, take the
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
take everything?
Stace, what do you
How
want?
many,
Figure it
how many
out,
total are there?
Yeah.
We got to discuss it.
We'll talk more. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good with that.
I have a quick question, go ahead. So, your proposals,
On my desk, but to buy was 50.
Ended up 51 something,
The
yeah.
lease was 40.
46,
Okay,
105.
explain, what was the term of the,
3 years on the
It was
lease.
3 years, okay.
So, yeah,
Um,
it came out to,
okay,
how much? I think you're looking at about 16 a year.
And after the 3 years, we would own them anyway if
Yeah.
we don't trade them up for the next security requirement.
Got it.
But, you know, as
And
we
you're
have,
recommending the lease. Would you-
our board has voted to recommend the lease, yes.
Any thought? Brad?
You have some possibility of being reimbursed by the state for this. right?
Correct,
And
yes.
the probability is you will, although it's not certain.
The bill is
The bill is
there,
there.
it's not
they-
passed yet.
Yeah, there was some concern amongst the association, the Ohio Elections Officials Association, that because the boards of elections were given money for the May primary and we're going to be given money for the August special, that they might not be as open to giving us money for the poll pads, but I do think there's a big enough push that, but
Well, we just need to know that there's a possibility.
there is a possibility
you
that we
would
will be reimbursed,
This would be-
yes.
We hope you are, but,
Yeah,
okay.
probably not 100%, I think it was, we were,
85%.
So I would move approval of the lease for Board of Elections. for the-
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel more comfortable leasing them instead of buying them outright. 'Cause I mean,
I'll be right back here.
What I
I'll
don't, really-
second.
I don't want to be in this situation every 4 or 5 years. We're gonna spend $50,000 on the newest iPad. Leasing, maybe we can buy them out at the end. So you got that option. This seems the cheaper route to go. We just bought them at 17. I was hoping they would make it longer than this personally, but it is what
We all
it is.
did. I mean,
We
you
all
know,
did.
they're used twice a year. I mean, we program them, we update them and test them. We send them out in the field, we download the information and then they, you know, they're hardly used.
I still have my iPad. I think it was a Series 1, or I mean, it's still ticking, but barely. I run it till it dies. But I'll second Commissioner
Okay.
Kirchner's motion.
Commissioner Shuffle, second. Have first and second. Any other comment?
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. So
Thank you.
run back and get them
Thank
ordered,
you.
right?
Okay?
Any other
All right.
comments, Mr.?
Do you have any idea what generation those iPads are? I mean,
I-9.
the ones that we
maybe?
now have,
The ones we now have,
yeah.
iPad Air, and I don't remember what number.
Yeah.
2017 edition.
I mean, some of them,
Yeah, right.
Probably actually a 2015 or 16 edition. They had to go through
well, the only reason I ask
process.
is because some of the older ones don't accept the updates that come from Apple, so.
We are still updating them, and we're in the process of doing the updates yesterday.
So the software
This-
update does
Yes.
come, okay,
Yeah, this
so,
says we have the iPod Air 2.
oh, that's really not that bad of a, yeah, that's pretty good. All right,
Real quick, too, I just want to give kudos to both of these individuals. I mean, working on the Board of Elections for the last 10 or 12 years, when I'm not on the ballot, I volunteer to work or be a rover, work the polls. Just seeing where it was 10, 12 years ago to where it is now, I mean, each year just runs leaner, more efficient. The process gets easier and easier. Just appreciate the work that both of you have done. You guys do a great job.
Thank you. We try to improve each election. Each election, we try to do something better, so.
And just to piggyback on that, we did get an email, I think Lori had forwarded to us, probably didn't want me to put them on the spot, but from the Director of Elections and Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, so as part of our comprehensive after-action review of the May 3rd, 2022 primary election, our election team met to discuss each county's performance. We had nothing but positive feedback to offer during our discussions with Seneca County Board of Elections. We want to commend you on your excellent performance, even under extremely difficult and constantly changing circumstances due to restricting. We still encourage each board to conduct their own internal after-action review, but you made us all proud during the May 3rd, 2022 primary election. Your dedication to election administration continues to set Ohio apart as a gold standard. Thank you so much for your hard work and service to the voters of Seneca County. Our office looks forward to working with you for another secure and accurate election cycle.
Nice.
who'd that
All
come
right.
from?
Well,
Rose?
good job. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate it. We'll work with Stacy then on
Okay.
where we'll go from.
Yep.
getting our deal.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Everybody
Thank
have a happy, safe holiday.
Thank you. Mr. Newman. Come on up, welcome.
Thank you. Couple of things to report on the airport. I'm trying to turn a few things over to my son, Andrew Newman, who'll be the third generation. And I had Brent Howard work with the prosecutor, Mr. There's mine, and they put it together, and I wanted to present it today. One's an easement and one's an agreement, and it relates to Seneca County Airport and it relates to Tiffin Air. So everybody's gone through it. I'd like you to read it and review it, and that way maybe you'll see my son down here a little bit more. So I'll leave both with.
It's always a good thing.
Always a good thing. With you,
Okay.
and it can be reviewed, and then I'll make an appointment to come back and sign it. And if we need to make any changes, please, we'll
He's
work.
been working there since he was 10.
10.
Yeah, I remember when I was flying, he was on the mower. At age 10, Andrew, his 10 years old.
I got two things for our AWAS system. We need a new logbook and a wind speed bearing, and I need approval to, and I'll leave that, I guess, with you, Kylie. And
Yeah.
both of them are pretty small invoices, $200.
Is it a new service agreement or just a updated equipment?
Yeah, there's two. The last inspection, they found the logbook was full, that they have to document for the FAA, that we need a new logbook, and there's a wind bearing that's
Okay.
been there since original, and it's not reading at low speed right, so it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world. So.
Didn't we talk about one time upgrading that with maybe a grant or something, upgrading the
Right.
EOS system?
Right.
Okay.
The last thing is, we did some crack filling last year on the county's ramp and the whole runway. No sealing, just crack filling. I was fortunate enough to get approval to do that, and I have last year's invoice of what we did. We didn't do any sealing. Okay, so here's last year's invoice. And it's getting a little bit harder to find somebody that'll take time to do it. Right now it's $2, and I find this hard to believe, $2 a foot of a linear crack to use the hot melt to go down in there, so. And I'd like to do one of the projects just because we can't do them all at the same time, and I don't know what's available. We had an estimate for the runway, an estimate for the taxiway. Now the taxiway's 3 years old on new pavement. So if I don't do it this year, I probably ought to do it next year. We were gonna do the runway last year, but because of everything, we just did crack filling on everywhere so that I can keep the water from getting down in the cracks and busting out the blacktop. So I priced it out for the ramp, the county's ramp, and the taxiway and the runway.
And so you want to do one of the three?
I think I brought them all down. I really think priority might be the runway, but if it's too much, let's go to what my number 2 would be, the taxiway, because it is 3 years old, fresh blacktop, and we've got the water going in the right direction. And I'm not ready to close that project out on the drainage with Quest until they come back and finish a few. The grading's not quite right because they didn't get the grass planted in the fall. They came back in the spring and got it, and we have some erosion issues.
So we have drainage resolved and the lights, all new lights, right? No, we have.
On the
drainage.
taxiway, the lights were done prior.
Yeah,
We have approval, and Vaughn Electric has for the runway lights to go from the regular lights to LED like we did about 6 years ago on the taxiway.
so drainage and lights, so back to the surfacing in my head.
Right.
When would we surface the runway? How many years out are we?
Well, the last time I went 20 years.
Yeah.
So by
doing what we're doing,
doing.
by time. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
just to
So-
give you an idea, the runway
Stay on top of it.
is about 44,607, and the ramp is 22,467, and the taxiway itself is 38. Now, the problem is they'll only guarantee me the prices for 2 weeks, so I'm through so I don't know if they've gone up. I've noticed our fuel in aviation has not changed in the last month, so, and we're slow at changing compared to automotive fuel and diesel fuel. So I have to go back and get it just discussed. Seal Master up in Sandusky said they only guarantee what they quoted Randy at pavement maintenance for 2 weeks, and I'm through the 2 weeks, but it's, you know,
So this, most everything we approve at the airport, there's federal dollars involved. This would be county money here for
Yeah.
this. This is just things we do to keep it going.
We didn't include that in any of the lists of capital improvements.
Did not, nope, I didn't know that it was coming.
Right, okay.
Nope.
So we could maybe look at that again to see if this would take priority over any of the other items that we talked about.
Yeah.
the good thing, the state of Ohio has always looked at Seneca County that they never cry wolf because everything's deteriorated beyond use. We keep it up, and I think that's been fortunate with the FA grants and the state.
Yes.
The state of Ohio's been very good to the commissioners, and
Well, I think Grant's humble about that. Not only have they said that they're not concerned about anything, they said it's probably one of the best operated small airports in the state.
For
Without
sure.
question, the best maintained.
So I'm okay if you want to defer it until we have a broader capital discussion, but I would be okay with maybe doing the runway. But
I think we're okay with that.
if we're okay with that.
Yeah, I would just have him go ahead and get the quote updated, and then we can put the sub app on.
Because it's summer and hot, and now's the time to
If
do that kind of
if
stuff.
that's what you
And
guys
then the only
want.
thing I would ask is, so for next year, if you have any, like those, can you get them to us for our capital budget?
Sure.
As we try to get a little better planning on
I'm not.
it. Is that okay?
I'll move that we approve the resurfacing of the runway at about 44,000.
With the crack film?
We can just do
No,
that
this
when I
is-
get the actual number.
Okay,
If you
so,
wanna-
okay,
Yep,
all right.
that way I can do just a sub app.
Okay, so
We won't
we
have to
will-
do.
What is it?
Final
Is that a
number, then we'll
resurfacing
approve.
of the runway or a crack fill?
well, we did the crack fill.
Right,
So
this
there's
is
2
research.
coats,
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
2 coats of sealer.
Mike's right.
2 coats of sealer and restriping it.
Okay, man, I totally.
Yeah,
got
so
that wrong.
they-
Okay, sorry, Mike.
No, it's all right.
And they have a sand mix for our braking. That's where there's so much sand mixed in, and it's,
Well, it's just that I think the timing is right. I mean, they've made sure that it's draining correctly now, right? You got
Yeah.
the cracks filled, and now's the time to seal
That's
it,
right.
because if
I
you
got-
wait,
If we're gonna have something, let's maintain it, let's do it right. I know certain other industries right now, I got some quotes on different things, and prices are going up 20-30%. We don't know where things are heading. I'd rather get it done and do it right, and instead of waiting and prices going up, personally.
the only thing that concerned me about that is that it's a 2-week quote. We're not meeting next week,
Oh, okay.
so we're out. So-
can I get it can I wait till after the 4th and get the quote?
What's the quote that you have now?
44.
Can we approve something?
44,670, and it
No,
was
it's
done
just-
it expired
Well, if
June
you wanna
1st.
do
She said if you want to do a sub.
48, we can do a sub app for 48, hopefully that'll cover it. If not,
What
we'll,
do you think?
Yeah, that's
Up to
fine.
the
I mean,
veteran.
you can do an up to number.
All right, let's do
and,
that.
okay.
I'll second Mike's motion.
Okay, so we're going to approve up to 48 for, you got the wording, resurfacing,
Yeah,
Resealing.
resealing,
Yeah,
and striping.
striping.
it'll be in our
Thank you.
capital.
Bill, where are you to correct me? What is-
I was having a conversation, I missed you, Tony. I'll
Okay.
catch you next time.
So we have a first and a second, roll call.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Okay, good. Anything else? We'll get this.
No, I just don't want to close with Quest on
Right.
the drainage.
And Kylie said they've asked us to accept Exhibit A property. Do you wanna, because I don't know anything about it, do you wanna briefly touch on that?
I emailed.
I couldn't
Exhibit
read
2.
it, but what was it?
Let's see
Is
if I
it-
can.
It's that parcel that they, that Hanks resurveyed.
Okay.
And just, they want us to accept this. This is Exhibit A, showing the
Yeah, I
outline of the
know.
property. You guys, I think, have all got the email to look at.
I look at it.
Tony was okay with it, I know that.
Yeah,
You have it right there. I mean, it's,
yeah. Is that, you've seen this and it's
Yes,
okay?
it's
and
okay.
Okay. because we just have a resolution accepting Exhibit A property inventory map for the Seneca County Airport. We have to submit it to FAA, so.
Stantec wants to get the closeout on that land grant, and this was the final.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, does the county engineers department or Zimmerman, does he have some of this equipment to do some of these things, or? I'm asking because I don't know.
I'm sure he does, but he won't do it. I mean, he always says that's for his roads and not, just like our parking lots, they're not technically the road tax that he gets, so.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Surveying is getting to be a difficult, long, to get it scheduled and get it done.
So that's part of your resolutions for today, or is that separate?
I just read it, if you want to go ahead and,
So moved.
Second.
That's good.
Commissioner Kirchner?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Okay.
and does she have the other 2 quotes so I can put it on our capital projects list? We'll discuss that in the next couple
I'll
months.
make sure I'll give you all.
We'll know they may increase by the time we
Yeah.
get to it next year, but as long as we have them.
Okay, I'll
Yeah, I
get a
know.
copy before I leave.
Oh, do you, okay. If you
I
just
have
want to
them
eat, you have them all?
I gave you a copy, didn't I?
Yep.
Yep,
Of all of
she's
them?
got it. Yep.
Okay.
Right here, yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
Anything else you want to discuss?
That's great.
Well,
I haven't heard a start date for the runway lights.
We are passing the contract today, so
That'll be, it's in motion, and I know they want to get it done in good weather, and they should have start date and so forth, should be come further after things are signed. Is there any equipment problem? I haven't heard of anything from Santa that there's any equipment problem.
I haven't heard.
Material problem, I'll put it that
Yeah.
way. Okay,
I haven't-
Good.
thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Brad.
And Lynn, would you like to come up? Yeah. Come on up. So we have Lynn Love from Attica Village Council, and would like to speak. Welcome.
I just have something short and sweet.
Okay.
We have a contract with the county for EMS coverage, and I was wondering if we could work together. The Easy Riders is going to be blessing us with their presence September 1st through the 5th. And from my understanding, for a phone call I made this morning, well, full-time squad will be on Thursday and Monday, and we were wondering if we could get any extra coverage, like on Friday or Saturday. I'm not asking for coverage for all weekend, but I would like to have paramedic, beefed up staff for that weekend. So there has been some dialogue with Danny, so I just didn't come here and, run the poll. So,
Okay.
but I just wanted to ask and just made
So-
aware that we have everyone coming in for the weekend.
Okay, so you said first through the 5th?
Yep, September.
Where's it gonna be at?
Bloomville at Coles Farm.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
This is okay, so that's from Thursday to Monday.
Yeah. And they're
And you're
on,
asking for a little extra help on Saturday, Sunday? Would be
at
the
least
3rd,
Saturday,
4th?
usually the party ramps up,
Saturday the 3rd?
Yeah. Or whatever they can do, we would appreciate.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Stay something you could look into?
so,
Yeah, I'll get with Ken and Danny and,
so that was it. So thank you for everything
Okay,
that you guys
well,
did. That
thanks
wasn't
for
too
coming
painful,
over.
was it?
No.
and you made it late to the meeting. Do you want to tell everybody you guys signed your resolution?
Oh, yeah.
You
We
came
did-
right
did
after
the-
we were done.
We did the 12th hour, so, but it's done. So we're ready to roll. I'm looking forward to the meeting tonight.
Good.
I'm excited. So I'm ready to get this thing cracking and let's get it done.
Good.
Awesome.
Thanks for
All
coming
right.
in. Appreciate it. All right. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Kirchner, we'll yield to you.
Well, we had Congressman Jordan in town Wednesday night. A number of folks from our community were able to basically thank him and say him farewell because he will no longer be our representative as of the first of the year. Congressman Latta will be our representative at that point in time. I have some comments about EMS, but I guess maybe I should wait till that whole business, or do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. It's
Okay.
Good time.
We also had an elected officials meeting with Tcap, Tip and Seneca County Partnership, with some folks from out of town that wanted to know how we were able to cooperate and do the things that we've done downtown, and Senator Reineke was there, and Representative Click and I, and 3 or 4 communities asking, you know, how we got to the point we were. So we're kind of being recognized for some accomplishments. But last Thursday's EMS meeting, part of the meeting there were some comments made about the fact that we hadn't made any progress in the last few years, and that, you know, maybe some lives were at the shoulders of the commissioners for not acting. So I just wanted to make certain that everybody understood, if we're going to make those comments in public, that we understand what the situation is, and that we're not a person that just pops into meetings occasionally and doesn't really get updated. I'll start off by saying that most of this stuff has been done by our administrator, Ken, and he has directed us in certain areas. And I also want to make certain, before I make the comments, that we again thank and appreciate all the volunteers, because they continue to make us stronger. We're still relying heavily on them. We're transitioning from a volunteer system that's supplemented by full-time to a full-time system that's supplemented by volunteers. But in each of those cases, volunteers is a key factor. So let's review, if you will. Somebody says we haven't made any progress as far as EMS is concerned. We'll talk about that in a minute. We now have a 24/7, 365 station in Vetsville. 100% of the time they are covered with 3 crews. And these folks do an amazing job. They have been there now since somewhere around June, or they've been here for about 6 months now, finally up to full speed. And also that situation allows us to kind of determine what a true cost is of one station, right? Because we've got 24/7 coverage there. We can figure exactly what it is as kind of a pilot, if you will, so we understand from the experience of costs that we've had as it relates to overtime, et cetera, just exactly what 4 stations will cost. That fits into the scenario that we talked about last Thursday, that it's going to be in excess of $3 million. We also have 1 full-time crew on the east side that are currently housed in Bloomville, and so they've got 1/3 of the time basically covered for Attica, Bloomville, Republic, Venice Township. We've had signed contracts with all the different joint ambulance districts who need additional coverage, and we make sure that they have that. We have now 14 full-time crew people and 9 part-time EMS. We had 0 a couple of short years ago. We have a training officer position that requires folks in the EMS system to take 12 to 16 hours of training per month. That did not exist before. We have been concentrating on state and federal lobbying efforts to make EMS an essential service. Believe it or not, emergency management services has not been considered an essential service by the state or by the Fed ever in the state of Ohio. If we're able to have some success there, that would open up grant money, it would open up federal and state funding. We have employed right now a full-time ECHO unit that administers advanced life support when it's necessary. Again, that was not in place a few years ago. Just for those of you who don't know, if there is a problem at a scene and it needs some advanced life support, or if other people aren't able to make it to the scene, the ECHO unit is notified and they get to that scene. There's a number of software updates from a management standpoint. Response times have improved because of the full-time people and because of everybody's awareness of that. Shoot time, which simply means the time that they get the call to the time that they're in the truck, is less than 2 minutes. And we're somewhere about 9 minutes on average getting to the scene. Our goal has always been 10 minutes. It's hard to quantify how many lives have been saved by this stuff, but just let it be known that we've had situations where there's been serious cardiac situations that ALS showed up for, and we're able to get these people directly to a cardiac catheter lab. There have been a number of car accidents in which, if ALS did not show up, there's a real possibility the outcome would have been much worse. There have been shootings that they've had to attend to that require advanced life support. And we touched the lives of several dozen elderly patients, pediatric patients, et cetera, that could really use that advanced life support when it gets there. So, what I want to say is there's a litany of other things that have been improved or added, but they're minute details. The point is that this commission and the ambulance districts and the township trustees have worked very hard, significantly hard. There have been scores of meetings. There's been a lot of advancement. There's been a lot of cooperation. We certainly want to keep this ball moving down the road. As Glenn said, they have another meeting tonight. The group is going to be the new ambulance district. And I just need everyone to know that there are some folks, as there always are, that want to come in and throw arrows. They want to come in and complain. They want to come to some of the meetings, but not all of the meetings. As I say, they're the people that make the upper 90% of the class possible. So I think it needs to be stated that we have made significant advances, and these are just a few of them.
Well said. Good. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, Mr. Shuff.
Yeah, had a really busy week this week. Spent a lot of time on the west end of the county. I think I spent 3 days over that way, but had a good meeting with Councilman Don Linnell over there in Fostoria. We were going over some building department concerns. So Fostoria uses Wood County, Seneca County, and Tiffin use Richland County, so he was just kind of relaying some of his concerns as far as some of the small businesses trying to grow, get projects done, how it's stifled. So looking forward to kind of seeing the results of some of the discussions we've had in the past weeks. We want to keep businesses and our contractors and construction companies moving forward and getting their projects done in a timely manner and hopefully not stifle them. So I had a very productive meeting with him. Also met with Mayor Keckler, went over some things. Prior to that, we had the launch Fostoria business competition. So we had 8 finalists, narrowed it down to the top 4. So they're going to have their event. It'll be August 5th for that business competition pitch, which is really exciting because we have a very broad spectrum of different businesses that'll be opening up here in Seneca County. And from the business contest we did last year, we had 4 finalists. 3 out of those 4 are open now that are mom and pop shops that are businesses that are thriving and doing well here in Seneca County. So looking forward to this next business competition. It was fun to kind of hear the pitches and just exciting things going on over there. Also, stopped over there. We have a new business that opened, the Enchanted Bean, which is Mrs. Brenneman. Congratulations to her. So Fostoria has a new coffee shop that just opened up. Heck of a renovation. It's been in the works for about 2 years. Right before I took office here at the Commissioner's office, just a little backstory. The owner of Bailiwicks, we went over to Fostoria, we're looking at buildings and stuff, talked about opening up a coffee shop in Fostoria. As we talked to their economic development team, there was another lady over there that wanted to open one, but there's actually good teamwork going on. So Bailiwicks is actually roasting the coffee for the Fostoria people. So it's nice to see small businesses working together, staying local. The new coffee shop could have went to some distributor out of Cleveland, Columbus, or out of state, but they kept it here local. So it's nice to see collaboration among our small businesses. It's nice kind of connecting those dots. So congratulations to the Enchanted Bean for opening up. Also attended a ribbon cutting for the car spa, which is next to Big Dipper. Congratulations to Charlie Hayward and his team on an amazing renovation, what they did. Kind of reminds me of the old Riley's Car Wash, where it's a full service car wash. You don't just run it through them. It's not all machine work, but they'll wipe it down, do the inside, that sort of thing. But I think that was his second or third ribbon cutting for the year. So it's nice to see movers and shakers doing good things out there in the community. Yeah, had a very good, productive week, but just good things happening, and that's where we're at.
Good, thank you. A few comments. I want to make an EMS comment. Appreciate yours, Commissioner Kirshner. We met Thursday night, and it was a, when we look back, and I wasn't here when you started, but I think at least we have common language, ALS, and people understand the need, and it's not exactly this is coming together, maybe not exactly how we all put it up on the board, but the positive is it's coming together. And the positive is, I think there's going to be some common ground where the citizens will have better long-term coverage. It's just a foundation. It's not going to be the end. It's going to be the beginning, but I do think everybody's has given a little bit and has come together. And to have 17 entities basically come together and say, you know, we want an EMS for our people is pretty exciting. So we have more work to do, but we just continue to look for the positives, but be realistic about the cost and the time frame on everything as we go forward. So looking forward to our meeting on the 14th. That'll be the next EMS meeting. I have just a couple things. I received a call from the Heritage Festival Committee, and they are meeting the last Thursday of the month. We've been invited. I took the call and just spoke for us. Basically what they would like is, and it's the 16th to the 18th of September, the Heritage Festival. They're gonna start down by Calvert, make a right turn and go down towards the splash pad, but they would like to use this lot for a car show at some point. And I suggested they get with you, date, time, permit, right? I think that's how it works.
Yep.
So that'll be that weekend.
Are they gonna get a hold of me?
They're gonna get a hold of it.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure that's how we do it, right? Everybody's good with that. And there may be more things, but that's basically what they're asking of us right now. Yeah, I'll wait till old business then for my next report. So, Stace, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think Ken is on. He might have just a question.
Okay.
Or just
Yeah. Does he have is he allowed to speak? Do we get the chance at setting?
No, I didn't change any of them, so he should be able to unmute himself.
Oops, yeah.
Are you there, Ken?
Yeah, I think I am actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
It took a minute, it kept telling me I couldn't unmute. I just want to address a couple of things. One is, thank you, Mr. Kirshner, for your comment. And we do have a full-time squad in Bettsville. And as you all know, it took us about 90 days to deploy that squad, where we had the funding and the housing. So there is a way to extrapolate the budget for what it would cost times 4. Very simply, and we've already done it, the spreadsheets exist. And second, and I think this is kind of important, to answer Representative Love, we've already had discussions with the fire chief, the incident commander, the sheriff, and his representatives regarding the event in September. Several years ago, we spoke to representatives of the volunteers who expressed their interest in ensuring that they covered the special events in their own communities because that is important to them. I believe it is, you know, football games, special events, things like that. They cover that while our full-time crews cover the entire community for 911 calls that occur during the special event. If we had quarters in the Bloomville area in the Eastern District, this would automatically be covered. We wouldn't need to request this. It would already be covered by full-time crews, allowing the volunteers to cover the special events as they need to, using our equipment, and it's completely paid for by the county. So I just wanted to address that to make sure that there was no confusion. We had that talk regarding this, and if we had quarters, we'd be there 24/7. Thank you for the time.
Okay. Back to you.
I think a lot of mine is either old or new business, but I did want to, you know, with next week being the 4th of July week, and there's a lot of people in and out. I don't have anything on the schedule for then. You guys had kind of, you know, had mentioned maybe since it was the holiday week, canceling next week and doing the following week. So highly checked. We don't have anything on the agenda yet for our next week, so that's up to you guys.
So what I'd like to run by everybody is that we do not meet on the 7th and the 21st as well. We will be here the week of the 11th, have a board meeting at 10. On the 14th, have an EMS meeting at night. The week of the 25th is Fair Week. We'll talk about scheduling, being out at the fair. I know I talked to Commissioner Schuff about that. And maybe opening ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
You're always there.
Yeah.
You never miss.
We might talk
we'll
about
have our
having a
that
meeting,
week.
having the commissioners meeting out there. Might not be a bad idea to talk
Something
about
we can think about.
township tent.
The only problem we ran in, we've asked that before,
Yeah.
and the fair would have to allow everybody in for free.
Ah,
So we can't do it because the fair won't allow everybody
Well, let's
in for
see.
free. Yes, we've asked that question before. We were going to do that, and
That's a great idea,
um,
actually.
you know, I'm sure the fair doesn't want. They didn't want that in the past to allow everybody to come in for free
That would've been
because.
well, it's not like we're gonna pack the grandstand. Right?
Well, I know, but you know, their concern is people are going to say,
Mr. Brightbog by a ticket.
yeah.
It's free, then they come get
Let's
their.
give them one.
Yeah, they'll just come in and say, yep, I'm going to the commissioners meeting, and then they get to stay all day. So,
So I think that's good for July, and
Hey, it's
then,
one way to get people to the
are
meeting.
you guys okay with that? You good? You good with that?
Yep.
okay,
Sure.
so July
21st.
7th and the 21st.
You guys,
Two
okay?
meetings on the
We
14th.
have
Yep.
2 meetings on the 14th, and we'll be here on the 28th. Back to you.
I think as report goes, that's
Is there any EMS meetings on those dates?
it's the 14th.
14th. Yeah.
The rest I have is kind of under old business and new business.
Let's jump into old business. Go ahead.
Okay, so we went through our capital requests and our ARP request a while ago, and we had set some priorities. The sheriff's radios and the EMS radios were kind of put underneath our first set. I think we
First
did
tab.
like, yeah. So, you know, Matt Gray, he works on our radios. Obviously the sheriff and EMA and EMS, you know, have some concerns because they're already telling them it's going to take probably a year to get these in. So they were just asking if we could reconsider that, put some of those radios so we could get those ordered. I think the sheriff's request was, let me open it up here quick. Sheriff's request was about 40,000, and then EMA EMS request was about 48. The 48 I think included some shelving and stuff to get the stuff organized, and John Spar said he could cover that under his EMPG grant. He will get half back, so at least for that portion. So those are the numbers we're looking at. Just for your consideration, I've had both.
Can I ask Ken a question?
Yeah, I think
Ken,
Ken
are you
and
still there,
John are both on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, follow up to our communication meeting when we had fire, sheriff, Fostoria, everybody in the room. These radios that we need, I guess it's the question, are these the radios we need? And then is my concern basically how we program and use the radios? Where in the end, we're all, to the best we can, on the same page.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
So we have, 17, we got 10 different volunteer fire departments, and city of Fostoria, everybody's on different, doing things differently, but we're working on. Okay, that's all I wanted to know, so I'm good with that.
Like I said, you can think about it. You can.
Okay, can it
but-
wait till next meeting, or is this something you wanna?
Yeah, the only one John would like if he could go ahead and get those shelvings ordered. to try to get some of this stuff put up and away. That's the amount that John will be able to cover through the EMPG grant, which we will get reimbursed half of that for.
I think that's fine. You need a motion or you?
That one, that's under my threshold, we can
Okay,
put that
that's
in.
fine.
So maybe on the 14th, I'm not sure what the schedule or calendar looks like, but let's bring a few of those capital projects back up.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows we have, and I might be off on this, but it's something like $15 million worth of requests.
It was a lot.
It was 100 requests for a total of 15+ million, might even be more than that. And so obviously, we can't do all that, so we're just trying to nibble and prioritize things, and that's kind of how we're approaching it.
It's probably like double that because we only had quotes for about 50 of them, and that's where that 13 million.
So those are
came
the
from.
ones that had numbers.
So there's 50 more that don't even have a quote.
Yeah, it could be
so it's probably
25
20
million worth of
something.
requests, so. I think it's a good thing, at least we're
Putting on paper
Prioritizing.
what's out there, and we're having some discussion. So let's maybe pick a few, if that's okay with you guys, and we can address them on the 14th and nibble at that list a little bit.
And just an update on ARP. You know, I wanted to make sure I've got the numbers together so you kind of know where we're at. So we did just get our second tranche of money last week, $5,358,840. So the total we've received for that is $10,717,680. So expenses so far that we've either covered for the general fund salaries and some of the equipment we bought, we're at 3.9. Now the majority of that, probably 90% of that, was salaries that we credited at the end of the year of 2021. So there's that money is now sitting into the general fund. So we're looking at basically 6.7. We haven't done any credits to the general fund for salaries yet this year. I figured after mid-year, maybe we do another correction to get that amount set in the general fund. So actually you have over $2 million in the general fund that we credited for last year. So the only amount we've moved basically is the $750,000 into our capital budget that we talked about, the one building. You know, obviously we set our priorities, but none of the other priorities we necessarily
We'll
switched.
talk about that on the 14th. I
So,
know
yep.
Commissioner Kirschner will want to
Yep,
look at the budget stabilization fund.
yep. So, and that was my.
Sure, we can take action on that maybe on the 14th.
Oh yeah, I don't need any answers
Okay,
today. I
yeah.
just wanted to kind of give you an
Just kinda
update
look
where
at
we
that
were,
and
and I can give you a detailed description of what we've purchased. Obviously, there was, you know,
Yeah.
$750,000 that we did for the premium pay, so that's included in there. We did buy the storage building for the PPE and other storage. So just wanted to make sure to keep you up to where we were, and then going forward, you know, before we get into spending too many little here, little there, trying to get some of that into the general fund to be able to set aside for either the budget stabilization or the capital projects. So just wanted to let you know where we're at, you know, give you time to think about
Do you
it.
have any update on the ag building?
The
been-
contractors are still working on it, or the
Okay, the architects?
architects are still working on it. They've asked us to kind of give a preliminary idea of what we might need in that barn or whatever it's going to be called. So that's I think that's kind of the last thing.
You're on, working on it?
Yep, they're working on that. Beth and I've reached out to, you know, John's working on it, and if we decide to put, you know, in the long plan we had moving the emergency services off of the fairgrounds, the public safety building off the fairgrounds. So estimating maybe what they would need out there to be able to work on the squads, so it wouldn't have to be at the other locations. So
If we had any conversations at all with Ohio State, the extension service, to see whether they would participate, that they're in that building as well.
yeah, Ohio State, I think Beth has been communicating with them. We will be working with FSA. Our lease is coming up next year, so we will definitely be working with them on, because they would be paying the lease.
Right.
And right now their lease payment is fairly low because of the space they're in, so we would definitely need their opinion. We took their square footage that they are using now incorporated it with the architect and added for some future growth. And obviously, once we kind of get an idea, we'd like to present it to them and get in contact with them to see. So just wanted to get that on your radar, maybe start talking about that in July, just so you kind of knew where we're at and kind of get a game plan on what we'd like to move, so stuff kind of gets set. Because right now, our general fund carryover looks inflated, but it's because of some of the,
We got to put it in the right
yes, yep,
pocket. So as Commissioner Kershaw would say, one-time expenses. I just want to bring up under old business budgets. We met with the Budget Commission, and my understanding that you, along with Julie, have set up a process.
yes.
Do you mind just highlighting that real
Yep.
quick?
I think I mentioned that last
Yeah.
meeting, but I think they sent out an email, and the revenue, they're expecting revenue projections back from departments on September 12th. And then once they get and review the revenue, they will get us obviously the amount, and then having the expenses due. I think the initial date was the 10th, but the 10th is a holiday, so it'll probably be due on the 11th.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, our sales tax was down 49,000 year over year. It's up, but it's down 49,000 over last year, our income. We're this potential recession, et cetera, we just don't know what's going on. So I would like to think that, we're going into next year's budget with some of these thoughts in mind.
Right.
As we look at our operating budget. I don't know if you have any comments
No, that's,
on that.
until we see the numbers, there's not much
Yeah.
timing.
Okay, sure. I'm good. Let's go to new business.
New business, a couple before I get down to the supplementals. One of our cleaners is retiring in July, and so when we built the Justice Center, got the annex renovated, obviously with the size of the building, we were struggling whether we needed to hire more cleaners or go with a company. And we had done the calculations then, and it was for what we got, for the service we got with the company that won the bid back then, Clean Team, that it was more cost effective than having to hire new employees. Obviously, nowadays, our cleaners, they don't make a lot of money, and to be able to entice people to come to the county, we would obviously have to inflate that number. So I talked to John about it last week. We met with Clean Team. They gave us some quotes. So they're looking at the RTA building annually is about $20,000. The CSB building would be about $34,000, and the prosecutor's office would be about $17,000. And obviously, our cleaners don't make very much, but calculating it out with all of the benefits, it's about $82,000 is what we would hire for a single and a part-time, where Clean Team's going to be giving us 5 or 6 people so they can get it done in a quicker amount of time. So that's something to consider. They usually like a 30-day lead time, knowing we are going to be, that Seth's going to be retiring as of July 14th. They would be willing to come in early without any additional cost. So it's something to think about.
Did we get any other quotes besides Clean Team?
Because we have a current contract with them, we went to Clean Team to get ahead, but the last time we did quotes, they were far below the other quotes that we had received. So
There's a new one that just opened up in the area. I was just curious as to how many quotes we got or people applying, but.
Yep, and I can pull the ones we got last time, or I can ask John to look at it. It's just they're already in here doing the Justice Center. For the most part, the Justice Center's been absolutely pleased with their work. And honestly, both the CSB and the RTA, Prosecutor's Office, is excited to actually have somebody. Like I said, they're going to be bringing in 5 or 6 people to get this knocked out pretty quickly. So.
But there is no, it's just a 30 days notice We don't have any one-year contract or five-year contract? or
Nope,
anything like
it's
that,
actually
so
on a month by month, so we could,
Just month to month.
At any point we wanted to, we could get the
yep,
quote
yep.
for the entire.
They don't have a long term on that. It's month by month. That's what we did with the last contract. That way, if we had any situations come up, it's a month by month. So just something to think about, you know, like to get that moving kind of quickly, but
Well, since it is month by month, gentlemen, I think that we ought to go ahead and use them.
okay,
If the decision was made to relook at it and hire people.
yep.
I
We
guess
could
that's
always
right,
do- we could
because
always
the
do that.
14th's here.
But let's
Yeah.
let's get them on board so that,
Okay.
there's no gap in cleaning
Okay.
services.
You need a motion, or can you do that?
I can do that because he currently has enough to cover in his budget,
Okay,
so we should be good.
We're good. Month to month.
Is
we
that-
can, we
Yeah,
can
that's fine, yeah.
we can revisit anytime John thinks we oughta, or
Okay.
anytime you feel comfortable with that. Right now,
Okay.
let's get going. Yeah.
And I think I just sent this to you guys this morning, so you'll have a chance to review it. I just want to make sure I bring it up. Prosecutor's office had sent us a request, let me find it, from the prosecutor. There it is. They are requesting an additional $7,479.79 for their misdemeanor crimes, additional hours. And this is all basically because we've been contracting with the city. The prosecutor's office covers the city's prosecution now. So he has gone to the city. The city is going to help cover the cost, and this would be our portion. I think she's got the total amount, $3,824.99 for the remainder of this year, and they're talking about potentially a couple new computers. And it isn't in our system yet, but I at least wanted to bring it up, have you look at it. For 2023, the cost would be covered under the city contract because that's who the work is for. So
Okay.
just something to think about,
Put that on next meeting.
and it'll be on the next meeting. Yep. Giving you time to think about that. Another request we got in is from Attica Fair. You know, normally we give our required amount, which I think legislation changed last year, which is $1,600. They are asking for additional funding. They had, obviously with COVID, they had some rough times the last couple of years at the fair, and they also did a new junior fair booth building that cost around $200,000. So they're asking for any additional. They're asking, you know, above our 16. They're asking for 33, or anything that you'd be willing to help support the fairs.
So how much do we give Seneca County Fair?
County fair gets, is it 32, 30?
Yeah, I think it's 32.
That's what I
actually got
that's what I
his.
remember.
Yeah, because it increased. We used to, it doubled from previous years.
Attica gets half that.
And did
Okay.
we do?
The minimum for the
Yeah.
county fair is 3,200, and your minimum for the Attica fair is 1,600.
Okay. And did we do more for Attica last year?
For last year, we did cover 1,700 for COVID reimbursement. I think it was 1,700.
Okay, did the,
Seneca did not ask last year.
right, so didn't they get reimbursed for not having a certain event? What am I remembering?
I know Seneca did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Attica got it or not.
Well, given the circumstances with COVID and, you know, all their hard work and stuff, I'm okay with $3,000 for Attica. I mean, in the general scope of things, that's not a lot of money, and those people work real hard. So I would move that we give them $3,000.
I'll second Commissioner Kirschner's motion.
Just a comment, they reached out to me, Mr. Bede over there,
Okay.
through Solid Waste District. There's grants for benches and picnic tables and those kind of things. And so we made that connection. They were not awarded anything this last go around, but Gary, they're working together on
Maybe able to get some more
things
from
like
them
that. Yeah,
this
to
year.
get some money from them for that kind of stuff. So I think they're trying to. Yeah. Okay, we have first and second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Alright, I think that's all of my additional business. I'll get into the actual requests.
We should get the date of that on the calendar too. We always go to the opening. Attica Fair, do we know when that is? Bill, do you know when that is? Attica Fair? Seneca's 25th.
What's the other fair they used to have out there?
It's in August, yeah, it's like
Beginning of August?
Okay.
Second week.
Attica Fair, the 9th through the, whatever Sunday is, 9th through the 13th.
Lynn, what's the other festival that they used to have out in Attica? They don't have.
Load of breakfast.
Yeah, the one in the fall,
Good.
Is it Oakwood? Oh, help me. Is it Oakwood Festival or
Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge? Oak Ridge. Has that been stopped or discontinued for now, or? I know in talking to some of the representatives and the mayor from Bettsville, they were interested in carrying that on or picking it up, or I don't know how that's done, but they did want to kind of carry that on. They talked about possibly doing it out there at the park where they have the quarry, and I don't know if you want to reach out to Mayor Harrison or not, but I know they did mention that or show interest in trying to carry that on. Just an idea.
Okay, good. New business?
Yep, I have a supplemental appropriation request from the sheriff's office. This is for their commissary fund. They have been working with the judges, and the judges have agreed to give them an additional $7,177.74 to help pay for their ankle monitoring services. So that will be transferred from their special projects funds to for them to cover underneath their services. My next one is, and I think this kind of goes along with what they're setting aside, Common Police 2, putting in $21,000 into their contract service line, and that is their Tcap Grant, and it just also says additional funding for electronic monitoring. And then I had one additional one come in, noting we potentially weren't having one next week, and that is for EMA. It's for $16,422.46 to buy the additional equipment for the new EMA trucks that we agreed to pay for out of the ARP funding. He can get grant reimbursement as long as it's paid for out of his funds, so we're gonna use that to pay for out of his funds. So that's what that's for. And then I think on to the other ones. So I have a resolution establishing the COVID-19 Enhanced Operations Fund, number 7120. This is for the Health Department. I have a resolution authorizing Seneca County Commissioners to enter into a contract with Vaughn Industries LLC for the ODOT project number 22-6, runway lighting improvements on behalf of the Seneca County Airport.
Oh, that's a thick one.
Yeah, 2 of them. And then I have a resolution authorizing the 4D service contract agreement between the Seneca County Child Support Enforcement Agency and Seneca County Sheriff's Office on behalf of the Seneca County Department of Job and Family Services. I have another one for them, authorizing the Memorandum of Understanding for a uniform deputy stationed at the Seneca County Department of Job and Family Services with the Seneca County Sheriff's Office. And she is, make sure she's still online. Oh shoot, I don't see her. She was gonna be on if you guys had any questions.
Good.
And both of these obviously are grant funding. They've had some situations out there, and they have a program that they can use additional funding for to have a sheriff's deputy out there when needed.
My
And I think that's all I had.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the new business, supplemental appropriations, and resolutions as presented.
Second.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's all I have. Sorry for the long,
No, that's good. Good job.
just had a lot of stuff today.
Anyone in the audience like to speak? Ann, you good?
Believe it or not, I'm gonna shut up this week.
Okay. Jimmy, anybody online?
Yep, if you are joining us online, you'd like to come forward, you can hit the unmute button now and make your comment. Nothing in the chat, so I think we are good.
Okay, so we'll adjourn the meeting and we'll see everyone back here on the 14th, right? On the 14th.
Happy Independence Day. God bless America.